Hi! Thank you guys for joining. I hope everyone's having a great Thursday. We'll get started here in just a little bit once our guest Kate arrives in, but welcome everybody. For those of you arriving, welcome. Thanks for joining. All right, Kate should be joining here shortly now. Hope everyone's trying to stay warm. I know winter and fall is upon us, but hopefully no snow soon. Hi, Kate. Good, how are you?
Hi, Megan. How are you?
Oh my
I'm doing
gosh, of
well. Thanks for
course.
having me
Thanks
on
for
today.
joining. I know we have an awesome turnout so far, so I'm
Absolutely.
excited everyone gets to hear all about Des Moines, especially with the one and only Kate Moulton. I love
Well, thanks again. I'm excited to talk to you guys a little about Des Moines and kind of what we do over here, and it'll be good.
Yes,
I'm
of
excited. So
course.
thanks again
Well,
for having me.
we'll kind of jump right into everything now that we had no technical difficulties. I was expecting some sort of obstacles, but it's great. For everyone joining, once again, thank you and welcome. I know people will linger in here as the video goes on our live, but Kate Moulton is a staffing consultant at our Des Moines office. So Kate has been with us since June of 2002, so fairly new, but a lot of experience. And he's here to share with us, like I said, everything about Des Moines. We'll go through highlights and you know what a staffing consultant really does on the tech side in Des Moines. So, Kate, we'll go ahead and
Yep.
start you off with a hard question, but probably easy for you. How did you find out about staffing? And tell us your story, how you got involved with Beacon Hill.
Yeah. So I think, how I got into staffing was, when I was going to school, I graduated from the University of Iowa. I always wanted to do sales. I really enjoyed talking to people, whether that might be, just in a friendly conversation, a professional setting, just kind of whatever it might be. And so I knew that that was something I wanted to do, right? I wanted to create relationships with people. I wanted to, sell something, right? And so what I did is, I went to the career fair at the University of Iowa. I spoke with Ashley, who is one of our campus recruiters, and from there it was a great conversation. She told me all the good things about Beacon Hill, kind of what we do over here, why I might make a good fit too. Interviewed with her the next morning, and the rest was history. I found myself just I knew right away that this is something I wanted to do. The people were great. The culture was what I wanted. And, the rest was great. And I'm very happy where I'm at right now. And it
Awesome. You
definitely
make
just all
it
worked
seem
out
so
right.
easy. And especially said talking with Ashley at the career fair, who doesn't love it, right? Ashley can be
Yeah,
excited about a position or
right.
company,
Exactly.
as well as our director, John Majeski,
Yeah.
at Des Moines office. So
Mhm.
super exciting. That's great to hear. And, overall, kind of diving in deeper to the Des Moines office, what's it like at the Des Moines office as culture and just overall setting?
Yeah. Yeah. So we're a smaller office. I mean, we're about 10 people in our office here. I really enjoy that personally, because we're a tight knit group. We all sit real close to each other, and we're able to, bounce ideas off each other, learn from each other, get help when we're making mistakes, things like that. If something doesn't go our way, we have our team to rely on there. So that's awesome that we have that really tight knit group there. Our culture is fantastic here too. Like I said, we with being in a small group too, we get to bounce those ideas off each other. And obviously, I've made friends out of it too. I mean, the people that I work with too are, I consider them friends. And I think that's a big reason of, why I've enjoyed my 5 months at Beacon Hill so much so far is that, we're that tight group. We're able to do these things together, right? That's the biggest thing. It's not just an individual effort. That's what makes it, for me at least, is what makes it so special is that we are that tight group
Yeah,
here
that's
in the Des Moines
awesome. And
office
kind
for
of on
sure.
your note, I was in the Des Moines office, a couple ago when I was going around
Hmm.
Iowa attending career fairs, and it definitely is a smaller office, but it's in a great location, which is super nice.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's collaborative. It's an
Yep.
awesome environment. But did you know
Yeah.
anybody prior to going into the Des Moines office, or was it kind of meeting people and building those relationships?
Yeah, so actually a little bit of both. There's two staffing consultants on our team that I actually went to high school with, and we had no idea that we got the same job, and so it was really good to have a couple familiar faces around, but then again, meeting all these new people who, I hadn't met prior, who have just been a huge resource for me, who I've just become to really enjoy working with and alongside. So it's kind of been a little bit of a mix of both there. But at the same time, it's been great, meeting on new people and spending time with the people in our office, and then also having those two familiar faces around. So it's been a really good
Yeah, you
mix and a
really
good
couldn't
blend
ask
so
for
far.
anything
That's for
better.
sure.
That's awesome. Well,
Exactly.
on
Exactly
that
right.
note,
Yeah.
what would you recommend to, individuals coming into an office, whether it's at Beacon Hill or in general? I mean, coming into the office not knowing anybody. How did you put yourself out there to build those new relationships?
Yeah, I mean, I think, I was myself too. I mean, at the same time, I was, going, doing my business, but then also, making it known that, I want to be like a valuable asset to the team, right? So I think, just trying to do my best to, meet with everybody, get to know them on a more personal level. It's not, what we do, right? It's professional at the same time, that you need to have those people, that you can know them personally too, so that was the biggest thing for me too, is learning about, a lot of the people on my team, and just getting to be good friends with them as well, which has been just a wonderful asset. I couldn't
Yeah,
have
and
asked
you
for
made a
anything
great point.
better,
I mean, that's
honestly.
what a lot of offices are. I mean, you get so close, but then you're able to
Yeah.
branch out and meet so many other individuals across, the country at different offices, but your team is,
Yeah.
you have that team
Hmm.
atmosphere along with the individual goals that you set. So, amazing job describing that.
Right.
And then, what are some office traditions that Des Moines office has? Everyone, all the offices have their unique, traditions. What are Des Moines?
Yeah, we have a lot actually, which is, that's always an added benefit of having such a tight knit team, right? Is you get to do all these fun things with your team, and you know them really well, and that's the best part about it. And so, kind of some stuff that we do. We actually right now we're in the middle of a fantasy football league, so we've been doing that. So 7 weeks in now, and it's just kind of fun. We can check in on our teams every now and again and have some pride when you beat the guys sitting next to you, and so that's always fun for us to do. And we do happy hours every now and again too. A little team building exercise there, and our division director John actually he has a little game that he plays with us sometimes. He'll come outside for 5 minutes into our little area over here, and we'll do a 50 states game. So he'll get us we'll get a notebook and a pen and 5 minutes, and you have to write down every single 50 state that there is. And you know what? You might think it sounds easy. It's incredibly hard. So I have not been able to succeed so far. We set a timer, we write it down on the list there, and then from there, it's definitely a fun little game, and there's a little bit of pride involved too if you get the most. So that's
I'm
definitely
like, when
something that
you
we do
even
and we
said
like.
that, the fact that you said it's probably easy, I'm like thinking in my head, I could do it.
Oh, no, it's you think you right. I mean, I'm sure there's some people on here that think it might would be easy. It's not. So that's definitely a fun little thing that we do. But we have our quarterly outings too. When I first started, a few days in actually, we had our first quarterly outing, and we went to a golf tournament. That was here local to Des Moines, and that was really fun to, experience that with some of these people that I was just starting to get to know. So that was a great experience for me, just to get to know all these people a lot better. And we definitely enjoyed ourselves too. It was a fun day, nice day outside, so we like to do that kind of stuff too. And it's just been, I mean, like I said, we have a lot of these different events and traditions that we like to keep on going with. And but yeah, it's
Well,
those
it
are definitely some
sounds like
highlights.
an awesome, organizational culture overall, especially your office, having a smaller office. But
Yeah.
what are
Hmm.
some, I guess you said going to golf. I mean, is everyone able to, you know, feel like they can participate in these outings and maybe like I can drive in golf, but like putting, not my forte. So does everyone really like fun, even
Yeah.
though it might be challenging sometimes?
Yeah, no, yeah, we were all able to be there, and we went to a tournament actually, so we didn't actually get to play. But yeah, no, I mean, in all of our events too, there, everybody participates, everybody has fun at the end of the day, and it's just a great way to, meet with our team better and, establish those personal connections like I was talking about earlier. So definitely,
I love it. And
those are
on
definitely
another
awesome.
note, John, your division director there at Des Moines, super cool guy. I mean, definitely
Hmm.
right when you walk in the door, you build a relationship with him. You know, if you had to pick like two
Yeah.
words to describe John, what would be those two words?
Yeah, that's a good question. I would say, John's energetic and he's supportive. So, he'll always be the one who's, if someone's having a bad day, right, he's going to lift them right up. And then that kind of goes hand in hand with supporting, right? If something's not going right, there's always a good person to bounce it off of, and that would be John. He takes his time to take care of his employees. And, that's what I love, that the fact that I get to work alongside him and also work for him as well. I mean, he's a great boss, and but at the same time, just so supportive and so, energetic, and always lifts us up. And, that's a big part for me, which has been
Yeah,
just a
very
wonderful
well said,
resource to
Kate.
have
Very
as
well
well.
said. You'll get some more new brownie points for that answer because it was so well spoken. That's awesome. But I know you mentioned earlier on when we were talking that you went to the University of Iowa and then before you came to Beacon Hill. And how
Yeah.
have you always lived in the Iowa area, or did you have to move from somewhere, relocate to Des Moines? How did that work out for you?
Yeah, so I was born and raised in West Des Moines, Iowa. So this is, where I grew up. It's where I went to high school. Then obviously, like you said, I went to the University of Iowa in Iowa City, just about an hour and 45 away east. And so, yeah, I mean, I've always lived in the state of Iowa, and I love it. I mean, I like to tell everybody, it's 15, doesn't matter where you are in the city of Des Moines, you're 15 minutes away from everything. You're never going to have a 25-minute drive or a 30-minute drive. You're 15 minutes away from everything. So which is really cool. I live downtown actually, and our office is in West Des Moines actually, and so it takes me 15 minutes. It takes me 15 minutes here and there, and then you want to go to a surrounding suburb, 15 minutes. So it's definitely kind of, there's a convenience factor in there,
Yeah.
which is nice about the city of Des Moines. But yeah, I'm born and raised here, and when I graduated school, I knew that I wanted to come back here, and I'm sure happy that I did. So it's a great place to live. It's a great place to work, and
Yeah.
I could talk about Des Moines all
Hey,
day if you really wanted me to,
because I know when
honestly.
people think of Iowa, they think of like, oh my gosh, I know when I went, I'm like, I'm flying, as cheesy as that is, because, driving through Iowa, people get this, stereotypical connotation. So definitely
Yeah,
reassuring to a lot of our viewers that you said there's a lot of things to do. But,
yeah,
on the point
there
of
sure is.
location,
Yeah.
what does Des Moines, where your office is located, have to offer in the surrounding area? I mean, how is your office set up and just like the office physically and inside?
Yeah. I mean, so, inside of our office here, we actually have, we're in a building with, some other companies as well. So it's definitely not a huge office. Kind of like what we talked about, even with the size of the people. I mean, there's not like a ton of room here, right? But, I think that's what makes it, for all of us. We don't have to talk too loud to get across to somebody. I mean, that's just kind of, that's just kind of how it is, right? And so, yeah, I mean, our setup is perfect. We're in the first floor, of a three-story building here. And, it's been the perfect setup. And like I
Yeah,
said,
even
15
better,
minutes from
right? With
everything too.
location. Yeah. Honestly, the drive going to your
Yeah,
office is beautiful. So you have that set plus free parking, which I
yeah,
mean, even a more
yeah.
plus. Yes.
Free parking is right. Yeah, and there's a lot of real estate coming around the area too. So it's definitely like developing and growing. The city of Des Moines, they're building new high schools. They're expanding on what used to be land there, and so it's just thriving. The city of Des
Love
Moines is
it. Well
thriving.
said.
So it's been
Well,
great.
we do have a question for you coming in from one of our viewers is,
Hmm.
what is the day-to-day like as a staffing consultant? I mean, I know you're in the technology division that is located in the office. I mean, did you know
Yep.
anything about tech before coming into the role?
I wasn't a tech expert, no. But what I've come to learn is that this technology that we're placing people like that they're working on is fascinating. I've come to really enjoy learning about technology, and I never thought that I would. I like I said, wasn't an expert coming in, but at the same time, it was really like a learning moment for me too. That this is something I haven't been accustomed to. I've never really done it before. That wasn't my major. I wasn't in computer science. I wasn't in any of these majors that a lot of people that we're working with are. Um, but I've learned to love it. I think it's fascinating, and so that's just kind of been like a breath of fresh air too. I love what I do, and I love the industry that I work, which is definitely really nice. But kind of more on the day to day side. Like I mentioned, with your first question, I knew that, I loved, creating relationships with people and helping people. So those, that takes up a lot of my day, right? I'm looking for people that I can support them, in numerous different ways. And, my end goal is, right, to find them a position that they get excited about. So that's a little snapshot of kind of what I do is, but, at the end of the day, what I kind of reflect on is just the fact that, I supported somebody today, I helped somebody in their next career change, things like that. If they're looking to do something new, I want to be a resource for them is, what I tell a lot of the people that I work with is, I want to be a resource for you. How can I help? So that's my biggest thing is, I enjoy helping people. I enjoy supporting and assisting people on a daily basis. And that's why this job's been perfect. And that's why, I love my day to day. It changes. You're never having the same day here. You get to work new jobs, you get to work with new people, and that's all the more reason
Yeah,
that,
and you
why I
definitely
really
have,
enjoy it.
the communication to back you up with that and the personality. So, Kate, you're on the best career
Well,
swing
thank
for
you.
you. So, awesome job. But, that coming into a
Yeah.
new industry you had no idea about, how did you get trained in? What's the training like coming in as a staffing consultant?
Yeah. I think, the training aspects that we have here I think are second to none. I mean, they're awesome. I was able to sit down one-on-one, with the people in my office who have been doing this for 7+ years. And I think that was the biggest thing for me is that I get to learn from firsthand success, as opposed to looking at documents or something or whatever it might be. I got to talk with somebody in my office who has done this for a long period of time and they've had success with it. And, they get to share their tips and tricks with me, in hopes, that I can implement this into the way that I go about my business. Right. So I think that was, really special here is that we have that one-on-one connection, with the people in our office who, like I said, have been doing this for a long time. So, definitely the training was awesome. And I feel like it just prepared me, to be the best recruiter and the best staffing consultant that I can be. And so that's been definitely, a breath of fresh air and something that I
Awesome.
can hang my hat on
Awesome.
for
That's
sure.
great to
So
hear. And especially for those newcomers in that are just, interested in the industry and might not, know anything
yeah,
or it's a little intimidating coming in. So knowing that they're there through,
yeah,
mentorship
yeah,
or mentorship program, even shadowing, hands-on
yeah,
training, very reassuring, like you said. So that's awesome.
yeah, and I'll even add on that too. I mean, like you said about our mentorship program, I'm right now I'm working with a mentor in the Denver office. So I'm getting to meet people over there too. And he's been a huge resource for me, to bounce ideas off of as well. So, we have this, we have lots of employees around the country, but, we are all one team, which, I think is super special. And I don't know how many companies can say that, but, this is, that's been really refreshing to me that, I have my team here, but I also have a team around the country as well. So that's been really nice and definitely appreciative for all the support that I get from not only my office, but
Awesome.
other
Awesome.
offices around
And
here
I
too.
kind of forgot to ask when we were talking about team dynamics, but how big is your team?
Yeah, so we have 14 people. So on our Des Moines team. So we have 10 in the office and then, four around the country as well that work with our offices. And so, that's kind of just ties into the tight knit group, right? We talk to everybody every single day. We have two meetings, in the morning and the afternoon, with everyone who's not able to be in the office. And, I think that's a big way to, keep in touch, and definitely just have more resources and, things like that. So, definitely small group, but for a good, I mean, we do
Yes,
our
you
thing over
worded
here
it.
and it's good.
That's awesome. Small but
Yeah.
mighty, I always like to say. So, yep.
That's exactly right.
But
You're exactly
our
right.
last question that I have to ask you, all of our viewers tuning in, is, what do you think makes a great hire? Whether it's
Mhm.
for, just a staffing consultant role in particularly, or even on the tech side.
Yeah, I mean, I think, the biggest crossover, from the jobs that, like the clients that we work with and the people that we work with, to our internal employees is, resilience. I think that's the biggest thing that I learned, like you always want to keep working, and then you're never going to be, satisfied until, that you're doing your thing, right? And so that's the biggest thing that I've learned too. And then a lot of that goes in with hard work. Um, but then just enjoying being around people, working in a team. We're a collaborative team over here, like you had mentioned earlier, and so that's a big thing, is being a team player, being a mentor too if you need to be, right? And that's how I learned, is by the people in my office being a mentor to me. And so I think that's those three words there. I mean, resiliency and hard work, and definitely
Awesome.
just
You hit
being
the nail right
collaborative
on the
too.
head. That's awesome. Great job, Kate. And team, growing in size. And there's been a lot of interest in the Des Moines office. So I'm thinking it's going to get bigger as time goes
Yeah.
on, and with the and
Yeah,
yeah,
that's awesome.
it's
Yep.
awesome.
Yeah, no, we love it. I mean,
Yeah,
like I said, it's small but mighty. You got it exactly right, and I mean, that
yeah,
fact that we're
of
looking to
course.
grow is
Well,
awesome too.
thank you so
So,
much, Kate, for coming on and sharing your thoughts about the Des Moines office. It's definitely a useful tool for
mhm.
people who are considering the Des Moines office and just our company overall, getting some more
Yeah,
insight on that. So thank you so much. I appreciate you coming on to host Office Spotlight.
absolutely. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you for having me,
Yes, of
Megan. It was
course.
awesome.
Well,
I appreciate
thank
it.
you to all our viewers who came on and listened to our Instagram Live Spotlight today. And there'll be one soon coming up, hopefully, with
Yep,
another office.
awesome, awesome. Well, thank you again, Megan. It was super fun.
Yes.
Thanks
Bye,
everyone for
Kate.
tuning in as
Thank
well.
you. Yes. Bye.
See you later. Thanks, Megan.